On February 3rd, 2020, Team BDS acquired the RLCS roster of ARG, that at the time existed of MonkeyMoon, Mark8, Clayx and Kale, who joined as a coach and manager. The results they got weren't bad, getting first place in the RLRS, which got them promoted to the RLCS in the second tournament they played as a team. But only 3 months after signing, BDS released Clayx from the roster. In the following month, Team BDS played in Lathamir's Eurocup 10K tournament, with Extra in their lineup, a French player who was just released from the roster of AS Monaco Esports. With Extra on the team, they proceeded to finish first place in the tournament and signed their newly found teammate only a couple of weeks later. It's August of 2020, RLCS Season X has just started and Team BDS are here to win. After signing Extra, they wanted to show us what they were capable of. Taking first place in the first and second EU Fall Regionals, the EU Fall Major, the first and third EU Winter Regionals, the EU Winter Major, the first EU Spring Regional and the EU Spring Major. To quickly summarize, BDS won 5 out of the 9 regionals and all of the majors that were played in RLCS Season X. And no other team seemed to even get close to the amount of success Team BDS was having. When the first split of the new 2021-22 season came around, Team BDS had a bit of a slower start. Not playing bad by any means, but also not winning any regionals like they were used to. At the end of the fall split, there would be one final major, the first RLCS LAN since the Season 8 World Championship 2 years before. Team BDS qualified for the event as 3rd seed from EU, and after the Swiss stage, they placed 5th out of the 16 teams competing, only losing one series to FaZe Clan. BDS won both their quarterfinals and semi-finals 4-2, which meant they got to play in a final again. And of course, BDS did what BDS does best, winning tournaments.
That should do it! BDS are no longer the best team online in Europe! They lay claim to the best team offline in the world!
Team BDS proved that they were one of the best and now officially the best team in the world. But that didn't really shine through when the winter split started. They won only 1 out of the 3 regionals and got pretty bad results in the last one leading up to the winter major in Los Angeles, California. The first RLCS LAN with a crowd since the Season 8 World Championship. The winter major was a very big disappointment for Team BDS, getting 2nd place in their group with G2, the eventual winners of the tournament, coming in 1st. This led them into the lower bracket, where they would just barely win their first series against Pioneers, and in the next round, when they were playing their first ever series in front of a crowd, they would get perfect swept by FaZe.
But to perfect sweep, the Fall Major Champions!
Wow!
Unbelievable! FaZe Clan have done the unthinkable! They've taken down the Titans in dominant fashion! They move on in the tournament!
After this unexpected early defeat from the major, Team BDS felt that they needed a change. People had thought about Team BDS picking up a 3rd French player to make a full French super team many times in the past. And that was exactly what they did. 1 month after the winter major, Team BDS announced that they would pick up Seikoo, a very mechanical player who was just released from Endpoint. This pickup also meant that Mark8 would be moved to the bench. People were skeptical at first and didn't understand why BDS would replace Mark, since they were still one of the best teams in the region. But it all became clear once the next split started. In the spring split, BDS absolutely dominated, winning the first 2 regionals and taking 2nd place in the 3rd regional. They showed that they could still make the team work without Mark, and in the end get even better results. However, the same can't be said about the spring major in London. Coming into the event as 1st seed from Europe, BDS were one of the favorites to win the whole thing. So when they got eliminated after getting swept by 2 minor region teams in a row, everyone watching was utterly bewildered.
6 seconds left, this has to go in from Seikoo, but it's over the top, there's no time left. Pioneers, they were already celebrating, no one cares what this ball is going to do. Pioneers have done it for OCE, they've done it for themselves, and they've done it to Team BDS.
3-0, a sweep over the EU #1 seed if you don't mind to make worlds. Could you script a bit of moment?
With the spring major all wrapped up, there was only 1 month of waiting before the next event, the RLCS World Championship, the biggest RLCS LAN ever. With BDS's poor performance at the Winter Major and Spring Major, no one really expected them to get far into the tournament.
You know, I think BDS are gonna they're not gonna look as bad as they did in London, but I don't think they're gonna be insane. I think that's gotta have some lingering doubt in their mind from how bad that tournament was. It's moist in the lower bracket. Boom, BDS out here.
But then, something happened. After a routine win versus Renegades, BDS continued the run by sweeping version 1 and letting them only score 1 goal in the whole series. It was at that moment that everyone realized Team BDS were here to win and that they would destroy every team that came in between them and that #1 spot.
Team BDS, they get another goal to take for the road. It's not going to change anything. MonkeyMoon shows his muscles. Team BDS flex their brilliance. Team BDS will be there on Championship Sunday.
On the final day of the World Championship, BDS looked unstoppable. They won against Karmine Corp in a thrilling Game 7.
Keeps it up in the air again. It's still there. Up against Seikoo. Seikoo just puts his foot on the brake for a second and slows things down.
We're going again.
MonkeyMoon, it's on the floor. The champions elect survive an absolute gauntlet from Karmine Corp. Team BDS are your semi-finalists.
They won against Furia, who were on their all-time high after winning from Moist.
One of the greatest timeouts ever called. BDS demolish Furia. Ladies and gentlemen, your grand finals, G2 BDS.
And finally, they won from G2, making their dream a reality.
12 seconds, it might as well be a victory lap around Wasteland Night. Seikoo around the corner. G2 to the scrapyard. Team BDS to the hall. Your world champions. Team BDS stands alone at the top of the world.
Legends in the making. Now, legends made.
No more questions. The book is complete.
Team BDS had reached their ultimate high at the World Championship, proving everyone wrong in the process. Seikoo was crowned the overall World Championship MVP and MonkeyMoon the defensive MVP. But of course, everything eventually comes to an end. And for BDS, this was the perfect ending to the 2021-22 season.
Fans, give it up for your winners and new Rocket League champions of the world, Team BDS!
When the fall split of the new RLCS 2022-23 season started, BDS were expected to do really well, since they just won the World Championship. Only to not get even past top 8 in the first 2 regionals, and not even getting through the Swiss stage in the 3rd one. These are obviously horrible results for world champions, and because of this, they also didn't qualify for the major. If Team BDS wants to have a shot at another world champion title, they seriously need to get everything together and perform well in the next winter split. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'm sure you'll like this one as well. Also follow me on Twitch if you're interested. Maybe you'll get to see me play Rocket League live.